Hey guys, so I have another topic for you. Something that I was thinking about. Um, Something happened in the car that triggered my thoughts, and anyways, my question to myself today was, is this a cruel world? And depending on what's happened in the day, what I've seen here or there, whatever, I might answer that differently depending on the day, right? So I was driving my daughter to school the other day. And by the way, this is my daughter's room, and I'm sorry I keep shooting the videos in the same spot, but I kind of like this room. She's such a positive force, and it feels good here. So sorry, it's always the same background. But anyways, back to my story. um, I was driving her to school, and somebody. So there's two lanes, and then it's gonna go to one lane. And so, of course, I'm going normal speed, whatever. And this person is like coming up beside me, trying to get super close, trying to cut me off and doing it like really, rudely and whatever. In that moment, there is this part of me that wants to step on the gas and not let him in. Like there is. I'll admit it. And then I think about, what does that actually do for me? So that's what I want you to ask yourself the next time something, obviously there's a million different things that could happen. This is just one small thing that happened, but it triggered my thoughts to this. What would that do for me if I pushed on the gas and didn't let him in? It might give me satisfaction for a minute, but then what? What am I putting out? Okay? So here's what I want you to think about with this situation, because I don't know what that person that's doing that, what their morning's been like. They could have gotten a call that said a family member was sick. They could have gotten a call that they lost their job. They could have found out, the point is they could have found out some kind of devastating news. And how am I going to help that situation? By pushing on the gas and not letting them in. And I think too many times we push on the gas and we don't let people in. Okay? We should back up, take a second, and always be aware that someone else has a million things going on in their life that you don't understand. A battle that they're fighting that you don't know exists, right? So even the little moments, even the little things, when somebody cuts you off or cuts in front of you or does something to you, you kind of have to step back and go, there's about a 99% chance that they have an issue going on right now that's causing them to do that. And I don't want to make their problems, their life, any worse than it is right now. Okay? And I think that that's just such an important lesson for us, and it just in that moment, I was like, oh, yes, stop it. Stop. You don't want to do that, because there's days where if somebody does one nice thing to me, like there's times I'll be walking in and somebody will stop and say, oh, I love this, or like that message. I had a message from one of my friends. I've had several messages since I started doing videos, but just those messages that come in and you're like, oh. And sometimes those come on a day where it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going right, and then it kind of changes the course of the day for me. And so you have that power. You have the power to actually change the course of someone's entire day by just being kind to them, by just being more patient, like having a little bit of extra patience and not pushing on the gas. Okay? So we can change the whole course of their day, which look, they could be nicer to their children because of you. I mean, they could be, one compliment. You could uplift someone and they're going to go home and they could be nicer to their entire family just because of you. I love this, and I want to challenge you guys to do this. I was in line for Chick-fil-A. The first time this happened was probably like 6-7 years ago, and the person in front of me paid for me. So I get up there and they're like, oh, this has already been paid for. And I was like, my gosh. So now, in return, not only did that make my day amazing because I couldn't get it out of my mind, I was like, why would somebody just pay for me? They don't even know me. I'm not going to be able to thank them. Like, this is awesome, right? And then not only did I really appreciate it and it uplifted the entire day, but I also then did it the next time I was there to somebody else. It's the snowball effect, right? So what we throw in our snowball, it's gonna build. So back to my question when I originally started the video, is it a cruel world? Well, let's take the cruelty and let's try and cancel it out with kindness and see what happens, right? Because I don't know that you can answer that question 110%. I think it's your perception for the day, you know? So let's look at things a little bit differently. Let's be really kind to people who normally we would think don't deserve it. But listen, maybe they do. Maybe you don't know their story. Maybe you don't know what they've been through. So even though you might think they don't deserve your kindness, they probably need it more than anyone else does. And just because, you know, I have a picture in my room that says, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. I believe it. I believe it 110% as I get older. The smallest thing, it's not a waste. Even if you don't think the person appreciated it, even if they didn't appreciate it in the moment, even if they never appreciate it, it still makes you feel good. So do it anyway. It's not up to us to decide who deserves kindness. So, do you know what the difference between you and God is? I love this, okay? What is the difference between you and God? Is God never thinks he's you, okay? Sometimes we think that we need to play God and try and teach people lessons and try and, not even that that's how God does it, but look, it's not for us to judge. That's the whole point. And so there you have it. One little car taking my daughter to school triggered all that. Can you believe that? So one negative thing that he did, I'm going to take it, turn it into a positive, give it to you, see what you can do with it, you know? And we're going to try and make this question of, is it a cruel world? We're going to start to go, I don't think it is. I don't think it's near as cruel as I thought it was. So anyways, go out and do something amazing today. Go out and just be kind, because kindness is amazing. That's it. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.